Hello and welcome to another edition of Tactical Edge. I'm Siobhan Cleveland, 4th Air Force Public Affairs. Today's topic, Enlisted Force Structure with Chief Master Sergeant Cynthia Villa, 4th Air Force Command Chief. Hello, Chief. Welcome back.
Hey, Siobhan. Thank you. It's good to be back, and it's good to be able to connect with our teammates out across the NAF. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How was your holiday weekend?
You know, it was amazing. I was out in Hawaii. One of our previous episodes at General Pennington I had the opportunity to do was about being able to disconnect, unplug for a little bit, and create memories with our family. So I did just that, Siobhan, and I had a great time in Hawaii with the family.
Absolutely. Unplugged and ready for summer, right, Chief?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Enlisted Force Structure. I am prior Navy, as you know, and so the Air Force, I'm still learning about your force structure and all that goes along with it. What is the foundation of the topic today, Enlisted Force Structure?
Well, that's a great question, Siobhan, and this is a topic that's very near and dear to me because it goes back to the basics in a sense, right? The Enlisted Force Structure, also known as Air Force Handbook 362618, and mostly known as the Little Brown Book. The Brown Book is how we as airmen reference 362618 as. And it identifies, it outlines at a minimum a foundation, lays that foundation as to what are our duties and responsibilities as airmen, and it breaks us down in tiers. You know, whether it's our airmen, our junior enlisted, our NCO, and our senior NCO tiers. I was going to call them categories, but quite frankly, it's the duties and responsibilities based on each tier. Again, our junior enlisted, our NCOs, and our senior NCOs.
Okay. So what are those tiers? If you could break that down a little bit for us.
So our junior enlisted tier would consist of our E1 to E5. It's E1 through E4, my apologies.
Okay.
And then our NCO tier is our E5 through E6, which is our staff sergeants and tech sergeants. Mm-hmm. And then our third tier, which is our senior NCO tier, is our master sergeants, senior master sergeants, and chief master sergeants. I have to say that from our junior enlisted tier would be our airman basic through senior airman.
Okay. All right. So give me a little bit more background about the importance of these tiers, why they matter to the enlisted force structure, and why it's important for airmen to know this.
Absolutely. So as airmen, as a reserve citizen airmen, as airmen in our Air Force, it's important that we understand what we're charged with, right? Yeah. What we're charged with at each level, what our duties and responsibilities are as a junior enlisted airman, our duties and responsibilities as an NCO, now as an NCO who now starts to supervise, a junior enlisted teammate, and then as a senior NCO who now you're responsible for not only junior enlisted but our NCOs as well. And those duties and responsibilities should increase, right, as we promote in rank, as not only our duties and our responsibilities, not only do those increase, but also the level of expectation of performance of at each tier, NCO and senior NCO, should be different as well. And we should have high expectations of our senior NCOs, most importantly, and of course our NCOs. Oftentimes I'll get into conversation of, Chief, I'm doing what is required of me. I think I'm a good airman, a solid airman. I think there's goodness in every single one of our airmen, right? Now, as going back to something that General Pennington and I often get into conversation about is, we have teammates who perform at steady, right? They're great at their job, and they're not necessarily interested in some of the extra stuff that comes with with the extra stuff that comes with serving in our United States Air Force. And what I mean by that is professional military education. There's so many opportunity within our Air Force, so much opportunity, I should say, within our Air Force. And we definitely like to promote and encourage our teammates to take advantage of that. Now, granted, not everyone will, But still, we're charged with ensuring that our teammates are in the know of what those opportunities are. Whether they take advantage of them or not, that's neither here or there. That's neither here nor there. It's our responsibility to set each airman up for success.
That's right.
And when we're talking about the different tiers, you can only imagine what our expectation should be of a senior NCO.
Okay.
To make sure that they're growing and developing our junior enlisted and our NCO. And most importantly, do they continue to grow as leaders as well? Because that's what we're charged with, continuous growth of self and others.
Okay. So when you say senior NCO, again, I have to use the Navy as a reference.
Not a problem.
So with the Navy, there's a big transition from E6 to E7. When you become the E7, the chief in the Navy, you have more responsibility and you almost become like a godlike figure. So what's that big transition for enlisted Air Force, enlisted airmen? What is that? Where do you see that transition?
Very similar to the Navy and to our sister branches. Our E7, our master sergeants in the Air Force, that's at senior NCO tier.
Okay.
So it is a big deal, right? And going back to the conversations that we get into, it's like, well, I meet the requirements to be a senior NCO within our Air Force. There's a difference between requirements, and there's a difference between requirements and expectations. You can't promote into the senior NCO ranks without meeting the requirements. And for any promotion, there's requirements that have to be met in order for you to be eligible for promotion. So being eligible for promotion, meeting the minimal requirements for promotion, and then again, there's that other conversation that I keep going back to, expectations. As you can imagine, our expectations of our NCOs should be higher than that of our junior enlisted. Right. Now, don't get me wrong, we still have high expectations for our junior enlisted, but our NCO Corps should be held to a higher standard, right? Because again, they have the opportunity, the privilege to supervise junior enlisted. And then we get into conversation about senior NCOs, and our expectation of senior NCOs should be even higher, right? That should be across the board. Our junior enlisted and our NCOs should have the highest expectation of senior NCOs, because if they can't rely on that senior NCO tier, chiefs included, right, then we have bigger problems. But we have amazing senior NCO ranks. We have amazing airmen across our Air Force, and we just got to make sure that we continue to develop self and continue to develop others.
Okay. Now, for some of those junior enlisted that may be aspiring to become senior, the senior NCOs, what can they do? What steps can they take to get there?
Continuous development, right? Obviously, in the junior enlisted ranks, first and foremost, we want you to be proficient at your job. That's your number one focus. Mission always, we have to make sure that we're making mission happen, and our readiness is continuously being met as well, and that's where we want to make sure that we're mentoring, training, and equipping our junior enlisted teammates to know their job, to be mission ready, and to make sure that again, they're ready to go at a moment's notice, which is all encompassing readiness and being able to make mission happen. Once they're proficient at their job, they've obtained the appropriate skill level, then that's when we want to start focusing our mentorship not only towards them becoming better and more proficient at their job, but also the other opportunities that are within our Air Force, whether it's Airman Leadership School, which is, again, PME, Professional Military Education, joint PME opportunity. There's so much education opportunity out there for our members, and it's important that we have those conversations with them and share and educate them on what those possibilities and those opportunities look like for the future. It might not be at the moment, but if they are in the know of these opportunities, they could start working toward these goals, right? Milestones, and then they're able to become the future NCOs, and not to mention senior NCOs that our Air Force needs.
Absolutely. And so you mentioned mentorship. Why is that important? Why is mentorship important, and how does an airman go about getting one? And also, another question is, at what level should a senior NCO have a mentor or just junior NCO?
You know, Siobhan, that's an amazing question, amazing point that you bring up. We all need mentorship.
Yeah.
You know, I still reach out to my mentors. I have approximately three mentors that I consistently reach out to, just to, you know, I'm just trying to be a better version of myself, a better leader, because I owe that to our airmen. You know, as senior NCOs, not to mention as chief, that's what we're charged with. Continuous growth and development of self, and most importantly, that of others. So having a mentor, and it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that's within your chain of command. It can be anyone. It can be a civilian. Anyone who you look up to that inspires you, that encourages you and motivates you to be a better version of yourself, right? Now, specific to job specific, you would obviously want to reach out to someone you're comfortable with, that is within that same AFSC, if you will, so that they can continue to mentor you and develop you from a job proficiency perspective, right? What that journey has been for that teammate. And that hopefully, whether it's as a junior enlisted member, if it's an NCO or senior NCO that you're reaching out to, hopefully our desire, our expectation is that they're also in the know of these other opportunities. So as they're mentoring you and developing you, you know, within your job, within your skill set, they're also providing you this additional mentorship of future opportunities and setting you up for success to be, you know, whether it's to be competitive or just so that you know exactly what you need to do to reach those milestones and pursue those other opportunities within our Air Force. Mentorship is key. It's ongoing. It should be continuous, never ending, just like continuous personal development. Right. I truly believe that that the impact that our mentors have on us, on our careers, is just amazing. Yes. So each and every one of us has the opportunity to mentor someone, just like each and every one of us is a leader. You know, depending on, regardless of perspective, we all have the opportunity to lead from day one. Right. And we all have the opportunity to mentor from day one as well.
Absolutely. So how does someone go about getting a mentor, let's say at one of our wings or even here at headquarters?
Reach out. You know, have the conversation with whoever it is that you look up to, someone that, you know, again, you're comfortable with, that you trust. Perhaps you've kind of followed their journey, have insight of what their Air Force journey has been like, and you're interested, you find it appealing, or you're just curious. One of the things that I really enjoy, I love having conversation with curious teammates. The more curious they are about their Air Force journey, the more that we're able to provide that mentorship and guidance. And it's truly a privilege, an honor to be looked at as a mentor, right? And I can't stress that enough and emphasize that enough. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be an NCO, a senior NCO, who has the opportunity to pour into our junior enlisted, to develop our future leaders in our Air Force.
Absolutely. And so we did talk about the professional development and why, you know, knowing these tiers and the structure, why it is important. But I guess specifically, how can following this improve professional development? Following the structure, following what's in the Brown Book, following, you know, the Enlisted Force Structure, how can this improve professional development?
Absolutely. You know, some of these opportunities that, you know, as you grow in rank, as you grow within your Air Force journey, some of these opportunities will become more and more competitive, right? So I talked about, you know, the foundation that the Brown Book, again, Air Force Handbook 362618, lays out for us. But what we hope and what we want to charge each and every one of our airmen, our teammates with, is that you exceed these minimal expectations, right? That foundation is there for us, but hopefully we're working towards exceeding these. And hopefully these mentors, you know, your leadership within your formations are the ones that are setting the tone and are setting the example for you to follow. So the enlisted force structure again sets us up for success, and with the hope, with the desire that we'll exceed the expectations and we'll make ourselves more competitive for possibly competitive opportunities, right? Not everything, not all professional development is necessarily extremely competitive. Some of the opportunities you just have to meet the requirement in order to attend, and sometimes seats can be, we don't get enough seats for in residence PME, as many as we'd like. We compete with our total force, with our active duty and guard counterparts. So it becomes we're limited to the amount of seats that we get for in residence PME, and we definitely want to take advantage of those opportunities. So the more you pursue and grow within your skill set, within your AFSC, and you're getting involved within your organization, outside of your organization, leadership will notice that. Your work ethic will speak for itself. Always say, let your work ethic make all the noise. And again, your leaders will see that, hey, that's our teammate, that's our airman, him or her. Those are the teammates that we want to send to this class, whatever that class may look like, for that continuous growth and development.
Okay. All right, Chief. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add to wrap up this discussion? I think we've covered a lot here today.
Yeah, again, I'm very, very passionate about mentorship, very passionate about continuous growth and development, and very extremely passionate, and sometimes I get a little bit of pushback, but it turns out to be great conversation when it comes to the honor, the privilege to serve in senior NCO ranks, the honor, the privilege to serve as an NCO, and again, we have the opportunity to pour, grow, and develop our junior airmen. They should be looking up to us, and if they can't, then we have bigger problems. So that we definitely don't want that to be the case. I challenge and I charge every one of our airmen to be the best version of themselves and understand the importance of being a good wingman. And actually, Air Force Handbook 362618 talks about that. Mm-hmm. Our duties and responsibilities of being a good wingman, a good teammate, a good peer. All that is important, and we have to be genuine. It's imperative that we're genuine about having each other's back, about truly being invested in the development and mentorship of our airmen, our future leaders. Our Air Force is in good hands. As I look across our enterprise and the quality of airmen within our formations, the level of education, their innovative mindset, it's just amazing, and it's just awesome. So to each and every one of our airmen, I charge you with go big or go home. Take advantage of every opportunity that our Air Force has to offer, and be the best version of you, right? Exemplify our core values. And excellence is key, right? Be that excellent teammate, that excellent airman, the best version of you.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by today for Tactical Edge, Chief. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, thanks for listening.